A fixed T-square at the beginning of the month, Mars and Venus conjunct in Leo, Mercury squares Neptune for the final time, finally moves out of shadow, a beautiful new moon in Cancer, and the first of 2 consecutive full moons in Aquarius. These are your horoscopes for July 2021. Hi everyone and welcome back to Saturn Secrets. Today we're discussing the astrology and your horoscope for July 2021. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for regular updates. This video is sponsored by myself and my tarot school, linked below. You can purchase that on Vimeo, either as an individual episode or as a whole package. We begin July 2021 with a very tense sky. We have Mars and Venus both in Leo, opposite Saturn and square Uranus. So we're forming T-square energies in the fixed signs, and this is going to enhance our feeling of being restricted, of feeling blocked in some area, of feeling like things are not growing. But the truth is, with Uranus in the equation, things are growing. You are going to be growing out of some of the restrictive energies you've been feeling, where you felt stuck, where you felt like things were not moving, where you felt a strong push of tension. That is most likely down to Mars. Now, Mars opposite Saturn is one thing on its own because it promotes this feeling of confusion surrounding velocity. Mars is really quick. Mars is really fast moving, wants to get everything done yesterday. Saturn is more methodical. It wants to move slowly and get the job done right. And Mars has this really intense way of pushing us at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and Saturn has this really intense way as well of slowing us down. Uranus in the equation wants us to grow, wants us to change, wants us to evolve. So there is kind of a growing pains sense with the first week of July. And if you have fixed sign placements, especially in the teens, from 10 degrees to about 20 degrees, anywhere in there, you're going to be feeling this much more intensely. It's very likely that at this time you're noticing where you're feeling stuck, and it could be where Mars and Venus fall in your chart, most likely. The good news is that we have this beautiful sense of conclusion, understanding, and being on the same page the following week when Mars and Venus are conjunct in Leo. This is playful, this is optimistic, this is exciting, this is very inviting, and there's a feeling that blocks are lifted and there's an understanding. It's as if we all get onto the same page in the areas that have been blocked. There is a union here with Mars and Venus that can also be really very romantic. And in the sign of Leo that rules love and romance and pleasure and happiness, the next week, the second week of July, is a really beautiful week for romance, for creativity, for playfulness, and just for a bit of optimism. Much more optimism as Mars and Venus move away from that Saturn opposition they've been forming. Another thing going on in the first week on the 6th of July is that Mercury in Gemini is going to square Neptune and Pisces for the final time. And then from the 7th onward, right up until September, we're going to notice a real lift in restrictions, a really beautiful flow that we've not experienced in a while, particularly in terms of clarity. So if you have any of the mutable signs in your big 3, for example, say you're a Pisces rising or say you're a Gemini moon, you may have been feeling a really strong lack of clarity lately. The thing is, this final square is going to be a wrapping up moment of confusion. Then it's followed by clarity and understanding. The thing about this final square is that it can rule our news, our media, our information. Gemini is fact, and it's still in the shadow period. We've had Mercury retrograde in Gemini, and it's been, I think, one of the most intense Mercury retrogrades I've experienced in my lifetime. I've noticed that a lot of people have really felt that Mercury retrograde in a nutshell vibe. It's been completely to the book. And with squares to Neptune, there's been confusion. We don't know where we stand with things. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're thinking. And in some degrees, we don't know what we're feeling. With Mercury and Neptune in the conversation, there can be a real push and pull between our head and our heart. We can think we know something to be true. Our intuition can be saying something else, or vice versa. And so this final square, and then after the 7th, we're going to be feeling a lot more clear, a lot more content with what we know. We're going to trust our feelings, trust the facts. We're going to feel much more understanding about where we're going, what we're doing, and what we're thinking, most importantly. We have a beautiful new moon in Cancer on the 9th of July, and this is going to be at 18 degrees of Cancer. So if you're around 15 to 18 to 21 degrees of Cancer or of the water signs, you're going to feel this really positively. This is a beautiful new moon for everybody, I must say, because it is going to be trining Neptune and sextiling Uranus, meaning that there could be a chance that a new beginning that takes place at this time is based in a level of dreaming, something that you've dreamed of, something that you've created. It's very creative, it's very innovative. It is a breakthrough with Uranus being there in support. Uranus is giving a positive new change that is based in taking potentially somewhat of a more quirky or unusual direction in your life, maybe trying something new. Cancer is a sign that is associated with home, family, so you might be redecorating at this time, you might be moving home. You might be changing things up in your family relationships. With Uranus and Neptune in the equation, there could be a lot of healing going on for families, a lot of understandings, a lot of breakthroughs around this time too. This is a very small new moon in context because the last new moons we've had in Cancer over the last couple of years have been, of course, eclipses, so this isn't going to be quite as intense, and this is moving us right out of eclipse season. So if you have a mutable placement, Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces or Virgo, this new moon is going to be a beautiful new beginning for you in particular, because you're going to be moving away from the challenges that have taken place during the eclipses. Another unusual thing going on this month is that we have the first of 2 consecutive full moons in Aquarius. This full moon is going to be at 1 degree of Aquarius, and the August full moon in Aquarius is going to be at 29 degrees. So there is a pattern here. There is something is coming up for you around this full moon in Aquarius that is going to reach its peak in August. So it's likely that what comes up around this time for you is important in terms of next month as well. 2 consecutive full moons in the same sign in astrology are known as a blue moon. Now back in October on Halloween in 2020 we had a blue moon, but it was 2 consecutive full moons in 1 month. They weren't in the same sign. So this is going to be a lot more succinct. There's going to be a clear theme going on for you depending on where Aquarius falls in your chart. Now I will get into this in the individual zodiac signs, but with 29 degrees of Aquarius being the full moon in August, it is very likely that what comes up around this time is going to be significant for you. 29 degrees is the anaretic degree, which we also have something happening at the end of this month too that I want to discuss in a second. But for you, you're going to find that this full moon that's coming up in Aquarius, it has some degree of destiny to it because it is conjunct the true node at this time. It's loosely conjunct Saturn, and there's going to be a sense of understanding about what path you're taking potentially depending on where it falls in your chart, and then that path is going to become incredibly clear around the second full moon, and if you ignore it, it's going to be even more loud, because the second full moon happening in August, which we will discuss next month and in an individual video, but the next full moon in August is going to be one that's actually really supportive. There is a lovely energy going around with that full moon. There's going to be a Venus-Saturn trine. Mars and Uranus are going to be trine, so there is going to be some sort of pleasant surprise to this, most likely, depending of course how it works with your chart, but it is likely that there's going to be some innovation in your life, there's going to be some moving forward, there's going to be some breaking free, and there's going to be conversations surrounding freedom. Now, the 29 degrees of Aquarius is something that I want to discuss here too. 29 degrees of Aquarius, 29 degrees is always very loud. It's very loud in particular in birth charts. We see 29 degrees of Aquarius in Ronaldo's chart. He actually has Jupiter at 29 degrees of Aquarius. Jupiter is going to be at 29 degrees of Aquarius on the 29th because Jupiter is going to be retrograding. Kamala Harris has Saturn at 29 degrees of Aquarius. So these are people who, for example, are going to be impacted by this particular Mars-Jupiter opposition. Now, that doesn't mean that anything bad is going to happen. It just means that they could be people that come up in the news based on that conjunction and the opposition energy. So Mars is going to be at 29 degrees of Leo. Now, Mars at 29 degrees is associated with conflict, war, hostility. Mars is at 29 degrees in Kim Jong-un's chart, albeit I believe it might be in Capricorn. I can't be sure, but he has that 29 degrees aspect. So we see Mars at 29 degrees, it can be very hostile. Mars at 29 degrees of Leo, there could be some type of conflict going on. And Jupiter at 29 degrees of Aquarius, there could be some form of humanitarian crisis, some very obvious cause going on, something comes to light that is unsettling for the masses or for a particular society. It could be something to do with human rights. It could be to do with human rights violations. With Mars in it, it can be quite aggressive. Mars in Leo also rules leadership. So it could be likely around the 29th of July that there is something going on surrounding leadership, fights, wars, human rights. There could be something fated to this because it is the 29 degrees. But Mars is something quite tricky. And as I say, it is going to be quite a loud energy, particularly in Leo. But I do think with Leo it could be forms of leadership that come into question, and it could also be to do with monarchy. So Leo rules the monarchy, so it could be something to do with monarchy. Bear in mind there's more than one monarchy in the world. It doesn't necessarily have to be the one in the United Kingdom. But there could be some tensions arise at this time. Mars opposite Jupiter, apologies, Jupiter's a very loud, expansive energy, so it's likely that there could be some type of explosive energy around this time that is quite unsettling, that could result in some type of humanitarian crisis, or it could obviously be a breakthrough in terms of human rights. You would hope for the latter, but we will have to just wait and see, because 29 degrees is usually something really very loud. The Cancer energy this month is going to be trining the Piscean energy. It's going to be trining Jupiter and Neptune, both in Pisces at different points throughout the month, particularly Mercury in Cancer. It's going to be bringing healing conversations. It's going to be bringing sentimental conversations. It's going to be more expressive. People are going to want to talk about their feelings more. And that can be quite watery and quite overwhelming for some people. Thankfully, we have Mars and Venus conjunct in Leo, bringing some fire energy to this. And when fire and water meet, there is a sense of steam, and steam can be something really very cleansing for us. So there is a lot of healing going on this month. There's going to be the usual oppositions with Pluto that the Cancerian energy forms, meaning there could be some power struggles in terms of our home life and in terms of work, the balance that we have. There could be more news this month about working from home, the way the working week is going to go, for example. People are going to be pushing more for more home rights or to get out of the home, but it's likely there's going to be some challenge here to do with authority, the workplace and our home life and what makes us feel safe and secure. So there is going to be a push-pull there as well. That is the astrology for July 2021. I'm going to pull a animal spirit card because I enjoy doing these in these videos. I find it to be quite interesting to see how it's going to transpire with the month ahead. So if you want to stick around and see what animal spirit card I pick, just keep watching. Or if you want to flick to your timestamp for your zodiac sign, those are listed below in the description box. So I'm going to be using the Kim Cran's Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck and see what animal spirit messenger we get for July 2021. It's interesting because I didn't mention too much of it. I will do a special on this, but Jupiter retrograding back into Aquarius is likely to bring some opportunities back around your way between now and the end of the year. They can be blessings with Jupiter, or it can be expanding something that you only have as a background noise at the moment that needs to be addressed in order for you to feel happy, because Jupiter is a very happy, jolly planet, but it can expand what you need to get rid of too, like any planet can. Any planet can expose something, but with Jupiter it can be very loud. But it's more to do with the things that you maybe didn't get going in the beginning of the year that you would like to get going, you know, the opportunities, the ideas that came to you. The Dragonfly. I had a beautiful experience with the Dragonfly last week actually. I was sitting with my window open and the blind down, and I could hear this insect coming into the window. I could see the shadow behind the blind, and it came and sat on my windowsill, and it was a little dragonfly, which is quite unusual because I'm not near the water, unfortunately. But the Dragonfly is all about transcendence, and I love this so much as the July theme because after the fixed squares and the fixed oppositions, we have this beautiful alignment between Mars and Venus. And they're going to express this being on the same page style energy where we feel united in what it is that we want, particularly for a lot of people in terms of romance, but also in terms of creativity and happiness and joy. And the Dragonfly is your moment in life where you've really been immersed in the waters. And we're very immersed in the waters with Cancer season, I have to say. And Jupiter itself is moving from a water sign to an air sign, which is what happens with the Dragonfly. It begins its life in the water and then moves to the air. It's what's transcendence, where we're in the emotions. We deal with our emotions, sometimes so that we can think straight. So Cancer season for a lot of people, and with Jupiter and Pisces for most of the month, there's a lot of healing going on emotionally. And with the Cancer and Pisces trines, which is one of the most beautiful trines in the whole of astrology, there is a lot of healing and transcendence going on for us, and it can look different for different people. But a lot of the time you find it's acceptance. Accepting something that has hurt you or changed you, or something that you've worked through, and finally rising above it, finally meeting an understanding, because the dragonfly just soars. It's a beautiful rising above energy, rising above the things that you felt stuck in or you felt immersed in. And finally feeling some freedom more than anything else with the dragonfly. It's always a symbol of coming out of healing and finding your freedom, finding your wings, and really being at peace with what you've been through, because you have risen above it and you can see it from a higher perspective. You can see it from greater heights. And so for a lot of people in July, you're going to be experiencing that understanding, coming out of the fixed sign, squares and oppositions, the waters of Cancer season, our emotions, our home, and then even stepping into Leo energy, which is going to be more fun and playful and expansive and more like dancing with life than feeling protective, as it were. So there's a lot of healing going on for everyone this month. I think the dragonfly is a really beautiful energy to pull for July 2021 and very appropriate. So let's have a look at your individual zodiac signs and what it means for you in July 2021. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye! Hi Aries, welcome to your July 2021 horoscope. This for you is a month with a really beautiful twist to it in terms of love. We're going to have a conjunction between your ruler Mars and Venus. And Venus and Mars are both going to be in Leo, which rules your sector of love. Venus is going to be, as Venus rules your relationships, in a really beautiful spot for you. And this conjunction is going to have you feeling very romantic. It's going to increase your chances of finding love if you're single. If you're in a relationship, it's going to let love blossom. It's going to bloom. There's going to be happiness, joy, flirtation, excitement, and something that's really going to make your heart sing this month. It's a beautiful time to find romance, and for a lot of you that's entirely possible if you are single, or if you need things to turn around in your romantic life, or just something beautiful to celebrate with a partner. If that is something you're looking for, you know, in terms of the fifth house, that can be just pleasure, happiness, joy, creativity. It can also be children. So having children might be something on the cards for some of you in your more established relationships. But we have a beautiful new moon for you as well in Cancer, and this is going to be harmonizing with Neptune and Uranus, giving us this sense of a beautiful happy new beginning in your home life and your family life, in where you're laying down your roots and your foundations. A lot of you could be using this new moon as a beginning for saving for the home, renovating the home, changing homes, healing your relationships with your family based on the healing you've been doing while Neptune's been in Pisces. And with the Uranus in Taurus sextile, there's also a likelihood with this new moon for you Aries that there is going to be a new beginning based for you in value and what you feel secure about. There's a lot of security themes to your month where you're going to be feeling more emotionally secure, more emotionally safe, or at least working towards that. Now the full moon, which is the first of two full moons in Aquarius, is going to be happening at 1 degree of Aquarius towards the end of the month, and this is going to be something for you Aries that is asking you who your friends are, what groups you belong to, what teams you play for or work with, and how you fit in there, and really what the score is with that, to be particularly precise, because full moons typically expose what's going on. Now this is a full moon that has a trine to the true node in Gemini, which is in your sector of facts, so there may be information coming towards you around this time surrounding a friendship or a team dynamic that is quite important for you and is likely going to reach its full peak in August. So pay attention around this full moon. There could be something worth knowing or something worth listening to around this time. We do have in the first week of the month a lot of tension going on with the fixed signs. These are occupying your sector of love, your sector of friendship, and your sector of money. And this tension is created to show you where you're a bit blocked in one of these areas. It's likely with Mars being in the picture and Mars being in your fifth house, you could feel a bit frustrated with your romantic life, or you could feel a bit frustrated creatively. But remember that Mars and Venus are going to conjunct, and there is going to be a beautiful energy wrapping up there in the second week of the month where blocks are lifted. So with fixed sign T-squares, just allow the growth to happen, just allow the change to happen, just allow yourself to feel open to what's going on. Try not to get too angry if you feel yourself being a bit triggered around this time, or you find yourself in a creative block, and just be particularly careful in issues surrounding speeding or driving or operating machinery, just because you could be quite tense around this time. But you are going to be feeling this month like blocks are lifted in those areas in particular, especially in terms of love for a lot of you. And there is going to be a theme going on in the background of family healing, and healing where you want to put your roots, where you feel secure, where you feel emotionally present. Now, your tarot card for this month was the Knight of Cups, which is just so on point with the Mars-Venus conjunction. Love is likely to be a big theme for some of you. There could be dates, there could be new love interests, there could be proposals, there could be moving to the next phase, there could be declarations of love, there could be gifts of flowers, there could be candlelight, there could be moonlight and music and all that good stuff. It's really romantic. It's a beautiful energy. I love the Knight of Cups. It always symbolizes a really gorgeous energy in your emotional life. So again, for those of you that are feeling a little bit down in the dumps about love, remember even moving into Leo season is going to be something that really benefits you. But to have a Venus-Mars conjunction as an Aries, I just want to explain how good this is for you. As an Aries, you're really going to be feeling the love around this time. And if you're an artist, if you're a creator, this is doubly good for you. This can also be signs of good news in your emotional life. Someone could be getting engaged, someone could be getting pregnant, somebody could be falling in love, and this could make you happy, but it's most likely you in your life. There is going to be something really beautiful for this. So whatever your relationship status, Aries, there's a lot of love this month going on for you. And there is a sense of healing and understanding going on in the background, and also you being able to express yourself a little bit more because Mercury moves out of shadow, and that is something that's going to benefit your relationships too. You're going to find it easier to find the words, easier to express yourself, and easier to just articulate what's on your mind, what's on your heart, and really beautiful energy. So that's what I have for you, Aries, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Taurus, welcome to your July 2021 horoscope. Taurus, just breathe. The first week of July could be quite intense, and this is because of the T-square happening for you in the fixed signs bar Scorpio. We have Mars and Venus in Leo, which is your 4th house of home and family. It's going to be opposing your career sector where Saturn is. Saturn's really making you knuckle down in the career stuff. And it's going to be squaring Uranus in your sign. So what does that mean for you? Well, there's a little bit of a block going on in terms of your home and family life, or your roots, or your ancestry, or just what makes you feel secure. This could really rattle you in terms of what makes you feel secure, because as a fixed sign, and particularly as an earth sign, Taurus, you need security. You like to feel safe. You like to feel like your finances are in order. You like to feel like you know where everything is. You like to feel that you know what's coming next. And this is something that life just does not award us. We're just not awarded this. So we try to control our behaviour, we try to control what we think, what we do, and we really have very little control. And I'm a double fixed, so I empathise with this. With Mars triggering these squares, stay calm, because Mars rules your relationships in traditional astrology. And there's going to be a really strong theme of wanting to push for security, not realising that when Mars and Venus actually trine later on, in the second week of the month, there's going to be a really beautiful harmony. Everyone's on the same page, particularly in terms of home, family, security, your roots, and even exploring your relationship with your family. There's a lot of healing going on this month with the Cancerian energy for a lot of people in terms of family. And this is a month for you where if you just try and let go just a little bit, you will find that things kind of sort themselves. So just bear that in mind when things feel really tense. The more you push, the worse it's going to feel, because you'll put yourself right in the middle between Mars going at 1,000,000 miles an hour and Saturn going the pace of a snail, and that's just not a nice place to get hit. So just try and remain open-minded. Clarity will come for you, especially in terms of money, because Mercury is in your 2nd house. It's going to have its final square with Neptune in the 11th. Again, don't lend people money in terms of friendships or social connections. There could be a little bit of confusion around there. These confusing energies will lift by the 7th towards September. There's a beautiful sense of clarity. So if you're feeling unsure about money, unsure about friendships, unsure about what you give in a friendship, unsure about your value and your social connections, unsure that your values still match the friendship circles you're in, the social circles you're in, it's likely your values are going to become very clear by the end of the month, Taurus, because we do have 2 consecutive full moons in Aquarius happening for you this month and the next. And this is going to be in your career zone, showing you what you value, what your long-term goals are, your aspirations, your value, what you feel like you're worth. Things are going to be very busy in career. There's going to be more opportunities coming to you. And I want to say this as well. we're actually headed towards a Mars-Uranus trine, and Mars is going to be in Virgo and Uranus is going to be in Taurus, of course, your sign, and this is happening next month around the full moon wrapping up. So just in terms of looking ahead, romantically, things are really looking up for you because Venus is moving into Virgo at the end of the month, Mars is moving into Virgo. They're going to trine Uranus in your sign, really giving you a lot of attractiveness. You're going to know your worth, you're going to know your value, you're going to feel a lot more secure going out of the month than you maybe were going in Taurus. So hang tight, know your worth, know your value. You're going to be very valued by everyone else, so it would be a shame if you couldn't see it, because that's when you undersell. When you attract negative relationships or negative job experiences, it's because you don't know your value. And that's not your fault. That can be any number of things that's happened in your life that have shaped your perception of self. That can even be the conditioning that we have in our societies, depending on where we are. And for you, Taurus, this is going to be something that you can really let go of with the Aquarius full moon. So let go of the imposter syndrome, let go of the feeling that you're not enough, let go of the feeling that you can't have your dreams come true. Let go of the feeling that you don't have a dream. It's likely that you do. With this Nine of Pentacles, Taurus, ask for more. Be open to receiving more. There's so much value happening for you this month. And I also want to say that in terms of communication, you're better at asking for what you want this month, particularly towards the end, because we're going to have the trine aspects between the Cancer energy, Mercury in Cancer, and Neptune in Pisces, your 11th house of wishes, aspirations, manifestations. And the Sun is going to trine Neptune as well, and this is going to be beautiful for you in terms of speaking into existence what it is that you would like, especially, as I say, your financial landscape is becoming a lot more certain, is what I want to say for you as well. It's very likely that some of you could also be coming into money or a pay rise with that full moon in Aquarius. Pay attention around the end of the month with the full moon in Aquarius, because it's going to give you a preview into August. That's what I have for you, Taurus. I hope you have a beautiful month, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Gemini, welcome to your July 2021 horoscope. So Gemini, most of this month is focused on your second house of income, of money, of wealth, of value. And this is going to have a beautiful new beginning because of the new moon in Cancer that is positively aspecting your 10th house of career, success and long-term goals. Most of this month there's a beautiful lineup between your money and your career. There's likely to be more likelihood of a pay rise, of a promotion, of your business going well, of money flowing in, of you being able to ask for what you need, of you being more financially secure, opportunities to make money, that type of thing are likely to be abundant this month. And if you don't feel right now that you're watching this that that's a possibility for you, around the new moon set yourself a financial intention, maybe light a green candle, visualize what financial well-being would be to you, what type of money you'd have in your bank account, what you'd be making, that type of thing. Get in that frequency and try and figure out if you can make some changes or what opportunities may arise to you, because as soon as you set that intention, it's very likely, Gemini, that more things could open up for you. We have 2 consecutive full moons in your 9th house of travel, adventure and higher self. So with these 2 consecutive full moons for you, Gemini, it is likely around this time that you could be making travel plans or traveling. It's likely that you could be taking on a new school of thought, learning something new, graduating, getting a higher education, or really see your horizons being broadened in some capacity. Pay attention to the full moon in Aquarius this month because it will have a knock-on effect themed to the blue moon next month. And it could be quite exciting for you in terms of travel or adventure, Gemini. We also are moving away, thankfully, from the Mercury-Neptune squares, which has given you a lot of confusion surrounding your career progression, your future success. It's made you feel confused. It might have made you feel very lethargic, very run down, very stuck in this energy. You might not have felt much movement. From the 7th of July on to September, we're finally in the flow and you can really relax and enjoy just being a vivacious Gemini as you usually are. After a month of eclipses and retrogrades and it's just been intense, hasn't it, Gemini? We have as well, speaking of your energy, a conjunction happening in your 3rd house between Mars and Venus, meaning that there's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of passion, a lot of good feeling energy between you and your neighborhood, your inner circle, your siblings. You could be having some really interesting conversations romantically around this time as well. This is going to be a very passionate time for everybody, but for you it's going to be passionate in the way that you like best in terms of communication, words. Writing projects are likely to go very well at this time, especially if you've been suffering from writer's block or communication error in the first week of the month. So Gemini, for you, your tarot card was one and one only. It was the Ten of Cups. There's going to be some kind of wish come true for you this month, something that makes you feel really excited. There's going to be something that makes you feel really abundant, really emotionally enriched, something that makes you feel really successful, really happy. And also in terms of your family life, likely some events that are going to make you feel really content, because we have Venus moving into your 4th house as well, which is going to bring a lot of love and a lot of happiness and harmony to your family life. We have Mars going in there as well, but that's not until the very last day of the month, and you'll notice the Venus effect first. But Mars going in there can just put a lot of energy into your family and maybe renovating your house and things like that. But enjoy this Ten of Cups moment when it comes, Gemini, because there's likely something that's going to give you a lot of joy and a lot of fulfillment this month. I hope you have a beautiful one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Cancer, welcome to your July 2021 horoscope. Happy birthday to you. This is your season, Cancer. Enjoy it. It's going to be harmonizing with the Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces vibes, and the Cancer Pisces trine is one of the most beautiful ones in astrology. So this is going to be a really lovely month for you in that area. Jupiter and Neptune are in your 9th house, which is to do with higher expansion, travel, wisdom, learning, and just really enjoying life. It's kind of, I find the 9th house quite hard to explain sometimes in terms of predictions. To me, it's sort of like coming to the buffet and having these really interesting dinners with lots of interesting people, getting different perspectives, people from different cultures, understanding their way of thinking, their way of living, and feeling the expansiveness of that rather than fear of the unknown, rather than a need to stick to the familiar. It's something that makes you feel really open to life. And so that trine is going to be making you feel really expansive. Now, we also have a Venus-Mars conjunction happening after we have T-squares with Mars and Venus and the Saturn-Uranus square. So the tension for you, Cancer, could be financially linked in the first week of the month. You could be feeling worried about money. You could be suddenly realizing, I wish I was earning more money, or they're on my team and they're earning more money than me, or I need more financial backing, or I've money coming out of all areas, or this money's not coming through, or there's some kind of blockage potential. And that could be to do not with money, but to do with your resources, your the things that you put your value into, what matters most to you. These blocks are going to be lifted though, because that Mars-Venus conjunction is a lucky one. It's very positive for you. It's something that's going to feel like an aha moment, a clarity moment. Something is going to feel lifted. Blocks are going to feel lifted. You're going to feel on the same page in terms of your money, your values. And this could be affecting your relationships too. So that is a really beautiful thing to happen. Because Venus rules finances in astrology, Cancer, it's likely to be something that is really very benefic for you, and could be a really strong theme of abundance running through your month with that positive Leo energy going on there. So that is something to bear in mind. It's something to be excited about. But of course, the tensions that go on in the beginning of the month could be to do with your partner's money. They could be to do with the financial investments you've made. They could be to do with your aspirations for yourself, or your social circle, or your group dynamics, or your charity endeavors, for example. So these themes could be jarring in the first week of the month, but they will lift. There's also going to be the final square between Mercury and Neptune, and that's a lovely thing because that's creating a lovely open space between the 7th of July and September that's going to really give you an opportunity to understand how your healing has actually impacted you. Reason being is that Mercury's been going through your 12th house in retrograde, which has really affected your dream state, your emotional state, and it's really promoted this healing energy. And for some of you, you've realized that where you've been doing healing, particularly as well because we have 2 consecutive 8th house moons, a lot of you could be hurting from the past, even if the past is a long time ago. With the 5 of Cups, there is a focus here on what cups have spilled, and sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes it's necessary to look back, as you would have done a lot in eclipse season and Gemini season. Sometimes it's necessary to evaluate what has happened that has hurt you, and it could be a recent thing. But the thing about the 2 of Cups is that he has the 2 cups still standing. So your perspectives with the beautiful 9th house energy this month are changing as well, because they're harmonizing with who you are and who you're becoming. For a lot of you, you could have been feeling very depressed, or you could have felt that you've really missed out on opportunities, or this could be a landmark birthday for you, and you're feeling this societal pressure based on your age, which I never thought I was privy to, but I absolutely am. So this is something that could be coming up for your birthday, where you just feel like, I wish I was at a different point, I wish I was in a different place, I wish I was, you know, in a relationship, I wish I was in a job I love, I wish I was in whatever it is, Cancer. It's about to turn around. 6 of Wands, there's going to be success coming to you as a result of your healing. And sometimes healing is uncomfortable, it's painful, it involves processing emotions that we really wish we didn't have to. And even as a water sign, that can be something you're privy to. So just bear in mind that things are about to turn around, Cancer, where you feel like you've lost out. You're about to be on a high horse with praise and acceptance. You're going to feel really loved, you're going to feel really celebrated. If people want to celebrate your birthday with you, Cancer, let them. There's going to be a lot of love for you going on this month, and particularly with the 8th house full moons, it's time for you to understand your relationship with sharing, your feelings, your money, your time, and the true intimacy of relationships is something you're going to become very aware of in terms of your own feelings this month. So there is going to be a perspective shift, an emotional shift, and a success shift. So that's a lovely thing, Cancer, and I think it's definitely well deserved. And it's whatever it is that you're upset about, all is not lost. There are things coming for you that are going to make you happy. You are going to feel love again, for example. And we do have Venus and Mars shifting into your 3rd house, giving you a voice, giving you the ability to influence, the ability to articulate, and the ability to intellectualize some of the emotional stuff that has been happening to you in a way that feels very much based in clarity. So clarity is coming to you as well, Cancer. So that's what I have for you. Have a very happy birthday season. Allow yourself to be loved, allow yourself to be celebrated, and celebrate yourself, your achievements, because there is no chance in the world, Cancer, you've gotten to this point without achieving something spectacular, even if you don't see it as such because you're used to it. So that's what I have for you, Cancer, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Leo, welcome to your July 2021 horoscope, and happy birthday to all the July Leos. So Leo, this month for you has a full moon, first of 2, in your partnership sector, meaning that this area is going to be illuminated in a big way by the full moons for the next couple of months, meaning that there's going to be some culmination of energy in your partnership. There's going to be things come to the surface surrounding feelings, surrounding intentions, surrounding how things are moving forward. For a lot of you, this could be in a positive way. There could be moving to the next level in relationships, and there could be, of course, some of you moving away from relationships, but for a lot of you there just is this overall theme of relationships happening for you in the next couple of months, because your season is going to bring in the full moon in Aquarius, and then there's going to be one at the very end of your season. It's going to be opposing the sun at 29 degrees of your sign. So it's likely for you, Leo, that this is particularly important, especially if you're a very early degree Leo or a very end degree Leo. Your partnership is going to take center stage for the next couple of months with these full moons, so it's likely there is going to be a big shift in energies, and this of course can depend on your personal perspectives, where you are in your relationship status. Maybe for some of you this means a new relationship comes in, or it means that a current relationship moves up a notch, or it could mean that you're finally getting on the same page with something, Leo, because this month has a beautiful conjunction between Mars and Venus in your sign, which is going to bring you a lot of happiness, a lot of pleasure, a lot of joy, a lot of understanding of self and who you are, which has come into friction, I have to say, based on your partnership life and your career life, Leo, because we have had that Saturn-Uranus square that has occupied your career sector and your partnership sector. So there could have been some frustrations with contracts, there could have been some push and pull between spending time with your partner, spending time with your career, or in family matters. There could have been things taking you away from your partner, there could have been things restricting your partnership, you could have just felt stuck. And it's very likely, Leo, that this is going to be directly impacting you in the first week. The best thing that you can do is lay low, because with Mars in your sign, you're going to feel like you have so much energy to go through these blockages and just smash them, but truly you just have to let them lift. And that conjunction between Mars and Venus in your sign is going to make you feel a lot more free, a lot more content. To have it in your sign is a beautiful thing, so please enjoy it and please be optimistic about this energy going forward, Leo. We do have a new moon in your 12th house, and this is going to be a new beginning for you in terms of healing, in terms of clarity, in terms of closure. It can be the house associated with wrapping up something in your life. It's something in your subconscious, your emotional life. And I have to say, it's a really beautiful new moon to begin a process of healing thanks to its connection with Neptune in your 8th house, which is psychological breakthroughs, and Uranus being in your reputation sector. It's very likely that if you have any wounds surrounding your reputation, your career, your status, this is a new moon to commit to healing any of these things. With 12th house new moons or full moons or transits in general, it's a time of healing, and that really means what it means for you, you know, how you view healing, whether that's through writing everything down, whether that's through seeing a therapist, whether it is through inspecting your birth chart, whatever this means for you, Leo. This new moon is based in a place of getting to the root of what it is that's maybe affecting you from the outside, from the inside out, is what I'm trying to say with that. Your tarot cards were interesting as well, because we had the 6th house and the 8 of cups, and these both look really very similar. It is about going on a journey. It's about moving forward. It's moving away from things that have bothered you, moving out of troubling times, letting go of the past, letting go of a particular phase, just moving forward, feeling free. And I have to say, the difference is one of these people is alone and this other person is in a partnership. So it's not to say, Leo, that you're going to be moving forward from anything on your own. It's just to say that you're moving away from what has not worked for you before, what has not emotionally served you. And with 8th house energy, Jupiter and Pisces being there, I do feel like there is a theme here about emphasizing the things you need to break through in order to move forward to the next level. This is very about becoming unstuck. So I think for a lot of you, there's been disappointments, there's been turbulent waters. There might be turbulent waters in the first week of July, I have to say, and this is all about you moving forward from them into a calmer, more conducive space. And that could be around the full moon as well with this 8 of Cups card. It could be then you're deciding to make a move. Maybe you and a partner are moving house, maybe you're moving into the next phase, and it is involving some process of letting go of the way life used to be. For some of you, it could be grief, of course. It could be that you're grieving something that has been lost or someone that has been lost, and you're really finding this month that there is a lot of healing coming in. Now, I will say this, in terms of your partnerships, because Mars is going to be at 29 degrees of your sign towards the end of the month, and it's going to oppose Jupiter in your partnership sector as Jupiter retrogrades back in. Try not to get off to too bad of a start. Try not to provoke conflict for the sake of it. Make sure that your intentions are clear. Make sure that you're feeling, you know, secure and in a safe space when you make decisions. Don't make decisions impulsively, because Mars in your sign can make you feel quite angry. And with Jupiter being in Aquarius, this could really be overemphasized. You know, if you do pick a fight around the last couple of days of the month, it just might not be the best thing for you. And it's better with the fixed sign squares and the energies to just go with the flow, because we do also, Leo, have beautiful harmony going on between your 12th and 8th house this month, meaning that you are going through a process of internal revolution. You're going through a period of letting go. You're going through a period of examining your feelings and understanding them, and that can feel quite heavy. But we still have the beautiful Venus-Mars conjunction in your sign, giving you this fun at the same time. And it's making the process of healing a lot easier. As I say, it's like steam. Whenever we have the water houses and the fire houses meet, there's a steam process. It can be very cathartic, it can be very healing, it can be very cleansing, and it can leave you glowing, is what we can experience with steam as well. So the changes that happen this month don't have to be negative. They're more about wrapping up the loose ends in your life emotionally, and where you're feeling a little bit unraveled and coming back to a place of center and a place of calm. So that's what I have for you, Leo. I hope you have a beautiful month, and happy birthday happy birthday for July, Leo, and you will have a beautiful season, I am sure. So talk to you soon. Hi Virgo, welcome to your July 2021 horoscope. So Virgo, this season for you is your 11th house season, and I want to start off with that because the 11th house is a season where you can really manifest whatever manifestation means for you. That can mean working towards a goal, that can mean visualizing a goal, that can mean starting a goal, because we have a really beautiful, well aspected new moon there. Your wish is the universe's command. This new moon in Cancer for you, Virgo, is going to be one where you can set really positive intentions, particularly in terms of your romantic life or in terms of travel and higher expansion, because of its link to Neptune being in your partnership zone and its link to Uranus being in your adventure zone. So there likely is some kind of adventure, some kind of excitement around this new moon, a new beginning based on these principles of connection, of social. It's a very social new moon for you, socializing, meeting the right people, meeting the people you need to, connecting with people in a social space. A lot of you could be starting a new YouTube channel or a social media page. You could be finding that your goals are easier to meet around this time. And it's going to begin a 6-month period of really meeting some of your higher aspirations. So this is a beautiful new moon to set an intention. I can't emphasize that enough. When there's a new moon in your 11th house, do set an intention. Now, the friction that's happening in the first week, Virgo, occupies your 12th house. Mars and Leo are going to conjunct in your 12th house, and that's really positive. That's really healing. That can get a lot of stuff sorted out internally for you. But one of the things that's sort of coming up for you with the T square, I have to say, is that it almost can feel in the first week like unseen forces are working against you. It can feel as though there are things going on behind the scenes that you're not aware of. This can make you feel quite paranoid. This can make you feel quite on edge. You can feel like there is a plot conspiring against you. You can feel as though there are things that you can't see, you can't put your finger on, but you just feel blocked and you don't know why. Especially because Uranus is in your 9th house and Aquarius is in your 6th. You can feel blocked in work. You can feel blocked in terms of travel, of course. You can feel like your perspective just isn't working for you. And I want to say this, with anything where there's tension in the 12th house, it usually is mental and emotional. It's usually a subconscious thing. You just feel like there's nothing working for you. You can't manifest anything. You can feel very stuck in your own mind. You can feel incarcerated in your own mind, because the 12th house is associated with prisons. I've come to understand through my astrological studies that a lot of the time that is mental incarceration, feeling stuck, feeling trapped, and getting to the root of why. Now, that conjunction between Mars and Venus that happens the week after is going to be a beautiful release for you. It's going to be a really beautiful healing energy in your 12th house, so you can feel like blocks are being lifted. You can really get out of your own way. You can really feel as though you are understanding your emotions better, you're understanding your intentions better, and you can understand what those blockages were in terms of even trusting the universe, trusting the greater plan, trusting synchronicity, serendipity, these type of things. And bear in mind, this new moon coming up that's really positive for you will release you from the eclipse energy. As a mutable sign, it's not been good for you, I have to say. Well, it's not that it's not been good for you, it's not felt good in many cases for you. But Virgo, we do also have the final square between Mercury, your ruler, squaring Neptune in your partnership sector. Now, Mercury has been in your career sector. Your career and your partnership life could have been coming under friction, but the main way that this is manifested for you is irritability, a lack of clarity, a lack of certainty, frustration with your career, not feeling you're getting anywhere, feeling stuck, feeling confused, feeling like you're not giving your best self, and it's likely resulted in some kind of burnout, Virgo. So this final square will be great to get over from the 7th house right up until your season. The 7th house, the 7th of July, right up until your season. You're going to have free reign. You're going to be able to go after what it is that you want. You're going to be able to articulate yourself. You're going to feel better, more vivacious, more alive. One thing that's coming up though, Virgo, is we have 2 full moons in your 6th house, meaning that in terms of health, please look after your body. Please listen to your body. Please nourish your body. Treat it with respect. Treat it with kindness, because this full moon will expose any health issues that you have going on. It will likely expose any issues that you have surrounding your physical well-being, your mental well-being, your emotional well-being. And it's a beautiful full moon to rest. It's a beautiful full moon to treat your body well, physical self-care, eating right, drinking enough water. It is likely with these full moons that sometimes work can get really very busy, especially because the first full moon is trying the true node in Gemini. That is your career sector. There could be some culmination of energies that maybe makes you realize that you want to leave your job behind, you want to change your job, you want to change your profession, you might want to change up how you're running your day-to-day routine is something that's coming up for you, Virgo. Also, we have Venus and Mars enter your sign towards the end of the month, bringing you a lot of love, a lot of vitality, a lot of abundance, and a lot of excitement, and especially, Virgo, for you in terms of your money. So we have the 5 of Pentacles and the Empress, meaning that financially you can really turn it around this month with a great opportunity in work. You can really work on your abundance mindset, work on your relationship with money. Money blocks can sometimes be representative of an internal frustration with where you are. It just disrupts the flow. And with Mars and Venus occupying your 12th house in conjunct, you can get really clear, Virgo, I think, in what it is that is holding you back financially, what it is that's draining you financially. Also, where there's some energy links in your system, energy leaks in your system that are stopping you feeling confident, stopping you feeling loved, stopping you feeling as if you're getting what you need, getting your needs met, because the Empress just naturally has her needs met. She's an Empress. It just flows to her. And the 5 of Pentacles is a completely different story. So I do see a turnaround for you in terms of finances, especially when Venus moves into your sign. And this is going to impact you in a beautiful way financially. And it's also about knowing your worth, knowing your value. And Venus in your sign is also making you much more attractive than usual. Not to say that you're not attractive, but Venus in the sign just gives people this extraordinary glow. It's funny, since I started doing your reading, I feel like I can't talk. I think it's because we're still in shadow period of Mercury in retrograde. But the Empress gives this beautiful glow, this beautiful attractiveness, this energy of knowing what you deserve and having it brought to you is what the Empress is. And that's when Venus goes into your sign. We can actually see the little Venus symbol here, which is indicative of that change, especially in terms of your money, but also in terms of feeling left out or feeling out in the cold, because I do want to stretch this to make it as obvious as possible. Whenever the 12th house is in play, it can be very lonely, but it can mean you're surrounded by people, but you feel internally quite lonely. So watch for that shift this month. Watch for the blocks being lifted and an understanding of your inner world and how that is actually impacting your day-to-day life, particularly your money, Virgo. But we do have beautiful lining up between your 11th house and your 7th house, meaning that manifesting is much easier for you in terms of partnerships, attracting romance, attracting love, that type of thing. And that same 11th house is going to oppose Pluto, so there could be some huge transformations for you on the horizon in terms of your romantic life if you don't feel too possessive, if you don't feel like you need to control things so much. And yeah, that is what I have for you, Virgo, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Libra, welcome to your July 2021 horoscope. Libra, we have some beautiful energy happening for you in terms of manifestation, in terms of wish fulfillment this month, because we have a Venus and Mars conjunction in your 11th house of wish fulfillment. Now Venus is in Leo, Mars is in Leo, Venus is your ruler, Mars rules your relationships. So whatever it is that you're manifesting at this time could be to do with relationships, it could be to do with beauty, aesthetics, it could be to do with your own personality, but it could just be a very long-standing dream that is finally coming together. It's like everyone's on the same page, and everyone will be in the same page in the second week of the month in terms of your friendships, in terms of society. And if you're in a social media based job or marketing or the internet in some capacity, this is going to be a really positive time for you too, a really positive time for your message to get across. We have a new moon in your career sector, meaning that your career is going to be in the spotlight this month as it is Cancer season, and this new moon is going to be a beautiful new beginning for your career, for your status, your reputation, your legacy, and what it is that you want to achieve in this lifetime. So set those goals around this time, because there is a beautiful aspect to Neptune in your 6th house of service, meaning you can attract the things that you need much easier if you set the intention around this new moon. We have 2 full moons coming up in Aquarius, one this month and one the next month. There's going to be a beginning and culmination of something in terms of your romantic life, your passionate life, what makes you happy, what makes you feel creative. These full moons are really going to bring an illumination to that area for you. It's very much a chance that you could meet someone very special around this time, or that you could feel more love in your relationships, or there could be a pregnancy that's announced in your life, or if you're in a creative profession, you're getting more creative control over something that you want to create for yourself. So these are really beautiful full moons for you, Libra, and they're likely very important because the second one will end with 29 degrees of Aquarius, meaning that there is going to be a huge energy surrounding this, one of fate and one of great importance to you. The first week of the month is quite tense with the fixed sign energy, and your wishes and your manifestations just might not feel as easy in the first week as they will going forward. But this is where the blocks are being exaggerated, they're being triggered, there's tension. This can be to do with your romantic life, I have to say, and it can be to do with the Taurus energy of your intimate life. So at Libra, there could be a feeling of nothing moving, a feeling of friction, a feeling that nobody's on the same page at all in the first week. Everyone's going to be feeling that, so try to just lay low, let it pass, and understand that these blocks that are happening in the first week will likely feel a real shift whenever there's a Mars-Venus conjunction in the second. So what I have for you in terms of the tarot is very indicative of the success that you've been working towards, Libra, with the 7 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. There's a feeling that you've been working towards something for a very long time. You've been trying to manifest security, financial security. You've been trying to manifest a home. You've been trying to manifest a legacy. You've been trying to manifest changes within your family, changes within property. You've been trying to get a pay rise or a bonus or something that is overdue, that has been taking a long time, seems to come to you in July 2021, which is a really positive thing and something that you've definitely put the work in towards, Libra. And the Cancer and Capricorn oppositions this month that are occupying your family zone and your career zone suggests that where people are trying to control you too much, there is going to be a sense of change, transformation, and really getting your side of the story across, because Mercury is going to be in your 10th house. So you're going to be able to express yourself in a way that is conducive to your reputation, because this is also going to be harmonizing with Neptune and Pisces, meaning that others are going to want to serve you more. You're going to have an element of hard work behind what it is that you're trying to convey. You're going to think what you want to say through, and it's going to come across well for you, because Mercury is going to be moving out of shadow where it was in Gemini, and this can really trip us up in terms of conversation and communication. And it feels for you, Libra, that you're really going to come out on top in terms of financial endeavors, career endeavors, and really laying a solid foundation for yourself with that new moon in Cancer. In terms of your career, there's a beautiful new beginning that could really improve your legacy, your creative standing, your career standing, your reputation, and just what it is that you want going forward, what your goals are, because it feels like you've been working on something for quite a long time, Libra, and it seems that you're going to get some kind of reward. So that's what I have for you. I hope you have a beautiful July, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Scorpio, welcome to your July 2021 horoscope. So Scorpio, Cancer season is a beautiful, expansive season for you. It is bringing your attention to travel, to life overseas, to foreign cultures, to higher perspectives, to broadening your horizons. There's a beautiful energy of this that feels like adventure. You have a new moon happening there, which is a beautiful time to consider a vision board for yourself, where you want to travel to, where you want to explore, what you want to learn. This could be a new beginning in terms of your education for some of you, what it is that you want to learn as a degree, for example, where you want to go to university, what you want to study, or what you want to study in your spare time is something that could also be began this month. Or so it could be something really learned to this month for you that really expands your mind. It's really funny with the 9th house. It's the house that comes after your house, so there is an expansiveness to this and a way of interacting with life as if it were an adventure, having your horizons broadened, seeing higher perspectives, bigger perspectives, maybe coming across a book or a text or something that really changes the way that you look at life. And when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So the more you step into that expansive, optimistic energy, Scorpio, the more that the universe is going to echo it back to you, particularly in terms of matters surrounding love or creativity, or partnership, as this new moon is positively aspecting those zones in your particular chart, Scorpio. I must warn you, I'm so sorry, but we do have a lot of tension for the fixed signs in the first week of July. That T-square that's going on between your traditional ruler Mars and Saturn and Uranus is going to feel intense. You're going to feel blocked. You're going to feel restricted. You're going to feel like people are being difficult. You're going to feel like nothing's moving. There's going to be a lot of tension. Mars and Leo can notoriously aggravate you. And we do have a little bit of an echo, a wrapping up of that tension at the end of the month with the 29th, when your traditional ruler Mars is going to oppose Jupiter in the 29th degree of Leo and Aquarius, meaning that in terms of your career, your profession, and your home life, there could be a little bit of a jarring energy. And this could be in terms of future plans surrounding living arrangements. You just might not feel as though there is an expansive energy surrounding your living arrangements, maybe with your partner. Maybe there's some challenges there with your partnership in the home, or maybe you feel lonely in the home. Maybe you feel as though your career is taking you away from the home too much. Maybe some of you are just feeling like your career is too stressful, your personal life is too stressful, and you may feel quite overwhelmed. What I want to say for you, Scorpio, is that there will be a Venus-Mars conjunction in Leo the following week, and it's around the 13th of July. It's going to feel really beautiful for you. Clarity, being on the same page, a breakthrough in terms of your career, your goals. So if you're having a jarring energy in that particular area, Scorpio, maybe even with your reputation, this is going to be something that actually levels out for you, and you finally get a lot of clarity, a lot of understanding. Another place you get clarity and understanding is in your romantic life, in your intimate life. If you've been feeling very insecure, very unsure, or just very confused, plagued with indecision or plagued with worry, or there's been tension in communications with your romantic interests or your romantic relationships, the final Mercury-Neptune square is happening on the 7th of July. Actually, I believe it's the 6th of July. But from the 7th of July onwards till September, there's a lot more clarity in communication, more clarity in your intimate relationships, more clarity in terms of how you want to articulate your feelings, because you may have simply felt, Scorpio, like you couldn't. There has been a lot of fogginess following us all around, and for you it's been occupying very romantic and also very creative sides of the sky for you. So once we move out of the first week of July, there's a lot more beautiful energy, especially if you have Scorpio placements at around or rising, you know, from about 16 degrees to 20 degrees of Scorpio, maybe give or take a couple of degrees outwards, because the new moon's in the 18th degree of Cancer. There's really beautiful energy surrounding this. There's 2 consecutive full moons in Aquarius, meaning your home and family life are going to be illuminated, Scorpio. And when we have a full moon in your home sector, sometimes this can involve a move, sometimes this can involve information we weren't aware about with our home. For you, this is something that seems to be quite important because we have the blue moon in Aquarius coming later. So you could have some unexpected developments, but it's likely by August these are positive changes in your home life. So this could be to do with buying a home. Mars, your ruler, is going to be trining Uranus, which is the ruler of the second full moon, next month. So there is going to be a sense of successful manifestation in terms of your home life. So look for what's coming up around that full moon in Aquarius, your family relationships, how they are, how your home life is. There could be a change in residence for many of you, especially Scorpio rising, within the next couple of months, and this could be something that actually works out for the better for you, or something that's actually maybe overdue, because when it's a fixed sign blue moon, there can be a sense of changes that are very overdue, especially with Uranus being in the picture. Sometimes fixed signs like to hold on a little too long. We have a beautiful harmonious energy happening between your adventure zone and your pleasure zone, meaning travel is well aspected for you, meaning optimism and love is more a common thing for you this month. That's a theme going on in the background. The only problem is with the Cancer energy is that obviously it opposes Capricorn, giving you this push and pull, and your ruler Pluto is opposing the energy, which means that you just might feel a little bit possessive in terms of your inner circle. You might feel like you want to control things a little bit. You might feel like you want to control people's perspectives or mentalities. Just try and step away from that. The tension this month with the fixed sign energies isn't a good time to pick a fight, to start a fight or anything like that, because there is a tension going on that could escalate quite quickly with a T-square in the picture. So try to remain calm and centered and grounded this month, Scorpio, is what I have for you. And also to be open to adventure rather than trying to control. So being open to a new horizon, opening up your perspectives, being open to broader horizons rather than trying to control your everyday life, because you might be trying to control things that you actually really don't care about, Scorpio. So it's important to remain open to what life can offer you and sort of dance with life more than trying to control it with the fixed square energy. The cards that we had for you were very interesting, I have to say. We have the Moon, the Emperor, and the Six of Wands, meaning that you need to assess this month with Mars and Venus in Leo how you feel about your career, how you feel about your goals, how you feel about authority, how you feel about status, and how you feel about power dynamics. Because it's likely that a lot of you are feeling quite stressed, or maybe some of you are just feeling like you want to make a change, feeling like you want to switch something up, or feeling like there's a lot of confusion surrounding your career, Scorpio, feeling like there's a lot of confusion surrounding where you're going with your life, what you want to do, what you want to process. You could be trying to control things too much. That can be a fixed sign tendency. What's interesting, Scorpio, is that I feel like there's something hidden from you, but it's in terms of a success, it's in terms of a goal, something that you might not have realized yet, or a purpose that you might not have come into alignment with yet, that could be triggered by the Mars-Venus conjunction in your career sector. So you might have a new opportunity on the horizon in July that you can't see yet, and you might not be able to see it until the second, third week of July. It might not become clear, but there seems to be some big boss energies coming for you in the midst of confusion. So once we clear the confusion, once we clear the subconscious debris that's sort of being pulled up for you within the next couple of months as well, there seems to be big movement forward in terms of career, because I do feel that the Aquarius full moon is also going to expose with you, because it's opposing your career sector. It's going to be opposing the way that you feel about career, especially in terms of the roots that you're putting down. And if you're feeling insecure or unsure about your career, it's not the best time to put down roots. So the full moon will probably expose what it is that's going on with you on a subconscious level, at least where the future is concerned. But I do actually feel for a lot of you there could be some surprise success, I have to say, something that maybe makes you feel enthusiastic about this new thing that's coming that you just can't see yet. I do think there's something you can't see, and there's almost like a fog that needs to be lifted, a lack of clarity in terms of your career progression, and also your relationship with authority, your relationship with your father figure. for example, could be something that is blocking your success or something that needs to be understood. It might also be something that needs to be healed in order for you to get the success that you desire in life and the accomplishments that you want for yourself. So that is what I have for you, Scorpio, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your July 2021 horoscope. Cancer season is all about your 8th house. This month is likely to be quite an intense one for you. Leaning into the 8th house energy, it's where we find our breakthrough moments though. And there's a huge breakthrough coming for you, especially in terms of your own energy, your 9th house energy, your feeling of understanding, higher awareness, higher power, education, travel. These things are going to be really well aspected in the second week of the month for you, after we've had a lot of tension, a lot of struggle, and a lot of restriction in that area in particular, and how that relates to your communication and your work life. So for a lot of you Sagittarius, you could have been feeling really blocked in terms of your speech, you could have been feeling blocked in terms of your travel, you could have been feeling blocked in terms of your work life. And with this particular blockage energy, it's very likely when Venus and Mars actually conjunct in Leo for you Sagittarius, you're going to be off on an adventure. You're going to feel really happy, you're going to feel really joyous. It's in the fellow fire sign for you, meaning that this is causing a lot of harmony to your birth chart, and it's going to be one where you feel like you want to go on an adventure, you want to travel, you want to explore new horizons, which you so often do anyway. But this is likely going to bring opportunity surrounding clarity. So the clarity that comes after the tension, after the blockages, after the restrictions, and where you are growing, and where you're growing in particular with your work, with your health, with your physical body and your well-being. I'm feeling a bit of liberation in those areas, I have to say. So the new moon in Cancer is going to be your 8th house. This is in positive alignment with your 4th house and your 6th house, Sagittarius. So there's going to be a brand new start for you in terms of your intimate life, who you connect with on an intimate level, but also understanding some of the icky stuff, some of the stuff that you need to overcome in order to transform, because the 8th house is where we begin a process of transformation, and with a new moon being there, thankfully it's not an eclipse, so it's not as intense as the last couple of months. There's a sense of, I've got this. There's a sense of strength, there's a sense of clarity, and there's a sense of a small new beginning in the way you deal with your emotions and the way you process your feelings and the way you use your feelings to transform what's going on in your life. You know, how you can overcome through an understanding of self, but also how you can just have a psychological breakthrough and an aha moment, which is really important in order for you to move forward. We have 2 consecutive full moons in Aquarius, and these are going to be happening in your 3rd house of communication. There could be news surrounding siblings, neighbours. There could be a change in your neighbourhood, somebody could be moving, somebody could be moving in, that is possibly to do with your future in some capacity. Some of you could actually meet love in your neighbourhood or through a neighbour. Some of you could experience news surrounding your siblings, significant news surrounding your siblings, maybe you hear one of them's getting married, or you hear one of them's got a new job or something like this. But there seems to be a theme coming up around this full moon that's going to give you a preview into what needs to be dealt with next month, because there's a sense with this full moon in Aquarius and the next full moon in Aquarius that something sort of begins around this full moon in terms of awareness and reaches its full peak in the following full moon. And for you Sagittarius, this is something that could be to do with fate, something to do with your neighbourhood, your language, your communication, your siblings, that type of thing. So that could be quite an exciting full moon for you at the end of the month. Now we do have the final square between Mercury in your partnership sector and Neptune in your home sector, which means that if there has been any friction in terms of marriage and family or lack of clarity, that fog starts to lift and you start to have a stronger awareness of what the truth is and what the clarity is, and getting to the heart of the matter, Sagittarius. You also have Venus and Mars moving into your career zone at the end of the month, bringing a lot of passion to your career, a lot of energy for your career, and a lot of positive influence as well with Venus there, because we do have the star and the 9 of Pentacles, meaning in terms of work, you're going to be the star of the show. People are going to be more interested in you, you're going to be seen, you're going to have influence over people you work with, you're going to be charming, people are going to like you, people are going to want to ask you for advice, they're going to respect you. You're sort of the star of the show, with Venus in your 10th house in terms of career. And it is also likely with the 9 of Pentacles and the star card that there could be some sort of positive manifestation around the Aquarius full moon in terms of seeing your worth, your value, and in terms of feeling appreciated around the full moon in Aquarius in particular, especially the next one. Jupiter is moving back into Aquarius for you. Jupiter is your ruler, and with Jupiter being your ruler, it's bringing blessings to your career life, to your communication, to your siblings, to your immediate environment and the people that you associate with. So you could actually have some very exciting opportunities close to home with Jupiter now wrapping up its final segment in Aquarius for you, but it seems to be helping you out in terms of issues surrounding communication, issues surrounding adventure, travel, expansion and opportunity seems to be what we're getting, and also healing. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Capricorn, welcome to your July 2021 astrology. So Capricorn, this month is primarily focused on your relationship life and your partnerships, on your contracts, and these are coming into a new beginning with the new moon being in Cancer. That is happening at 18 degrees of Cancer, and this is going to be a beautiful new beginning for you in terms of relationships, particularly in terms of romantic relationships or the development of current relationships, because it's positively aspecting your sector of communication and it's positively aspecting your sector of true love and happiness and joy, and also children. So you could be getting into a relationship, you could be meeting somebody special, you could be moving to the next level with a partnership. There could be some jealousy with your partnerships this month thanks to the oppositions of the Cancerian energy with Pluto being in your sign. There could be some jealousy or possessive moments comes up around this time too. So that's just something to bear in mind, Capricorn. We have 2 consecutive full moons happening in Aquarius this month and the next. And they're going to be illuminating your financial sector, your income, the money that you make. They're going to be showing you your feelings surrounding money, feelings surrounding worth, feelings surrounding value. So there's something to pay attention to with the full moon that comes up this month. I will be doing a special on this, a special video on this, but it's worthwhile taking note of the events that transpire surrounding your money, surrounding your value system around the end of the month with that full moon in Aquarius, because it will be a theme next month. We're finishing up the Neptune, Pisces and Mercury, Gemini squares. Mercury's finally moving out of its shadow period after this square, giving us this beautiful free energy to play with until September, where there isn't as much push, there isn't as much restriction, there isn't as much blockage. And this square was happening for you in terms of your work life and in terms of your communication life. So it's likely that things at work were quite muddled, things at work could have been quite confusing, your sibling relationships could have been quite confusing at this time as well. That's going to start to clear up. We're getting a lot of clarity with the Leo energy, and that's your 8th house of intimacy. So the Venus-Mars conjunction for you is really quite spicy in your intimate relationships. This could also bring up news or developments surrounding inheritance or other people's finances. That type of thing could be something that's coming up around this time. It's also likely that in the first week of the month your blockages, Capricorn, are linked to your intimate life and your shared resources. Other people's money could be restricted in some way, Capricorn. With Saturn being in your 2nd house and Uranus being in your 5th, it could be to do with money surrounding children, money surrounding creative projects, money surrounding your romantic relationships, that type of thing. There could be a bit of friction in these areas, but with the fixed sign T-square, it's not as huge for you as it would be for the fixed signs, for example. But we do have some lovely energy happening as well in the earth signs. We have Venus and Mars both move into Virgo by the end of the month. This is giving you a sense of adventure spirit, a sense of wanting to travel, wanting to explore, either through books or through literally. You could be learning something very important at this time too, Capricorn, that's really going to expand your mind. But for sure the month has a big focus for you in your relationships. We had the Sun and the 2 of Cups, so for some of you, this obviously can't apply to everybody, but this seems to be a really beautiful omen in terms of love, especially in terms of children. Some of you could be giving birth this month or getting pregnant this month with the Uranus in the 5th house activation there. But for a lot of you, this is likely to be finding the one or finding a really significant relationship. It doesn't have to be the one, but it can be really finding true love, happiness, finding your ideal partner, feeling like your love life is picking up, feeling contented, feeling excited about your partnerships. It definitely seems to be really something quite exciting for a lot of you that could actually involve a Leo, but it doesn't have to. It seems like love is really taking off this month for you, Capricorn, which is really lovely. So that is what I have for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Aquarius, welcome to your July 2021 horoscope. So Aquarius, there is a fixed T-square going on with Mars, Saturn and Uranus. So your traditional ruler, your current ruler are squaring with one of them being in your sign, and they're squaring off to your partnership sector with Mars being there and Venus being there. The first week brings a lot of tension, a lot of confusion, a lack of clarity, a lack of understanding. Try to remain calm during this. Wherever you're feeling blocked, it's likely a lot of you could be feeling blocked in terms of a partnership or a relationship or a family matter, particularly with the father. But these blocks are going to lift this month. We're going to move away from the Mercury-Neptune squared energy. Mercury's going to move out of shadow. It's in your romantic 5th house. That's going to move out of shadow. We're going to experience a conjunction between Mars and Venus in your partnership sector, getting everybody onto the same page and bringing this really lovely, passionate, cheerful, fun energy to your partnership zone again. We have the first of 2 full moons in Aquarius this month for you, and it's going to begin at 1 degree. The second full moon is going to end at 29 degrees. So there is some sort of personal culmination for you happening with your personality, with your personal preferences, with what you want for yourself. It could feel quite emotional for you as an Aquarius, and it could make you more aware of the fact that you need to deal with the things that are going on with you on an emotional level. Maybe you have ran away from your feelings, maybe you have intellectualized them too much, maybe you've analyzed them too much, and you're being asked to take on a different perspective and to really lean into yourself and be present with who you are and who you want to become. You know, a full moon in the 1st house for people can feel incredibly emotional, and it's because you are pushing some stuff out of yourself that is no longer in alignment with who you are as a person, or what feels false to you. It might feel like you can't physically do something you really don't want to do around this time. It might make you feel really jarred or confused. But it's likely asking you to really assess who you are and what you want for yourself on a personal level, despite the fact that a lot of the squares happening on earlier in the month are going to be to do with you know, your relationships with other people and things. When the sun moves into Leo, there is going to be, in Leo season, an opposition between Mars and Jupiter in 29 degrees of your partnership axis, meaning that there could be a little bit of tension. It could be blown out of all proportion. It's important to check in with what you're really feeling and see if this is maybe an issue that's to do with you more so than a partnership. But with these oppositions and squares, try to remain calm, just because there is a sense of over-exaggeration with Jupiter being there, and it could really be blown out of proportion with Mars. It could get quite volatile. So try to, you know, work through any issues you have with a partnership using calmness and not jumping to conclusions as well. That's something that's highlighted for you. We have a beautiful new beginning in the new moon in Cancer, which is going to be your 6th house of work and habits. So you could be establishing a new routine for yourself, Aquarius, that's really quite healthy. Now, your tarot cards were really interesting with that Knight of Pentacles and the 3 of Pentacles. The new routines you establish for yourself are going to be things that benefit you in the long term. They could be slow moving. It's about giving joy to the practical with Cancer season in general, giving joy to your routine, finding magic in your routine, finding calm, meditation in your routine, making sure that you feel like you're nourishing yourself, mind, body and soul. And with the Knight of Swords, please don't jump to conclusions. Please don't rush into anything. The fixed sign squares, just simply do not allow it. Allow yourself to feel into your own fixed nature and understand where you feel like you're trying to control things, where you're trying to change things, because Uranus, Aquarius, is actually asking you to grow and asking you to evolve, and it of course is in your family sector at the moment, Aquarius. So you might be evolving your relationships with your family. They could be causing you a bit of trouble, but you might realize that you really need to get to the root of it and heal it so that you can lay more solid foundations for yourself and roots for yourself. A lot of this month is leaning into, believe it or not, your earth sign houses, making sure that you're building foundations for yourself and you're tending to the practical. And the more you tend to the practical, the more prepared you will feel for the full moon in your 1st house, because you'll have a routine, you'll feel grounded, you'll feel centered, whether that's through yoga, journaling, meditation, eating certain types of foods that make you feel good. It's really leaning into what makes your body, mind and spirit feel nourished this month, I have to say. And it's very likely around the full moon in your sign towards the end of the month that you'll become aware of what the theme is actually for the following month, because something is going to reach a higher culmination of events. There's going to be more energy given to that full moon next month as well. So it's an interesting one for you, Aquarius, I have to say. Let me know what happens to you in the comment section, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hi Pisces, welcome to your July 2021 horoscope. So Pisces, we begin the month with a lot of jarring blockages going on with that fixed T-square energy, and you're likely feeling this in your work sector, in your job, in your day-to-day routine, in your health. Maybe you might just feel things are out of control at this time. There's no movement. You might feel very restricted. You might feel with Saturn being in the 12th house that this is something that you just don't understand, you can't see. There feels like there's an unseen force blocking you. Maybe your powers of manifestation. Maybe you just don't feel like you're able to get any feedback. You're not able to get any answers, and this can feel incredibly jarring and incredibly frustrating. The good news is then that Mars and Venus are going to conjunct in Leo and bring a lot of love, a lot of passion, a lot of excitement and a breakthrough moment. It's this feeling of being on the same page coming up. And this is going to be in your work sector, your routine sector, and your health sector, which is a lovely energy to bring to this area after such blockages and restrictions. So with this, you might feel really healed, you might feel like you're getting some sort of clarity with your health, you might feel more revitalized, you might be finding work is moving better, work is more exciting, you're maybe aligning yourself with new projects, new passions, you're maybe involving yourself in a new routine that's going to bring you a lot of joy, a lot of happiness. This is a really lovely energy and a real boost in a new direction for you. And another thing that I really like for you as well is that we have the final Mercury-Neptune square, which has just been a pain in the proverbial. It's just been so confusing, so daunting, maybe to your home, maybe to your family life, maybe to what's going to happen for your future with your home and your family life and your housing situation. Maybe you feel like you've no roots whatsoever and it's making you feel really out of sorts as a person. Now, from the 7th of July onwards until September, you have movement. You have a free range to go after what it is that you want in these areas, clarity in terms of your home, your living situation. Things are going to be able to move. We're out of the eclipse season, meaning that you're not going to feel as confused and lethargic and stuck. We also have 2 consecutive full moons in your 12th house. Now this is an interesting one, Pisces. I've been really thinking about this for you, and this is your sector of healing. Now I want to bring to your attention the fact that Jupiter is retrograding back in there too, bringing you abundance, bringing you some kind of gift. I believe the second full moon is going to be conjunct Jupiter, the second full moon in Aquarius, in August, and there's going to be a trine between Mars and Uranus. Uranus is ruling that full moon. But this first full moon, it's in 1 degree of Aquarius, meaning that there is something within you that just needs to be healed. So watch out for unusual dreams, dreams about your past, dreams about your exes, dreams about past experiences, maybe even trauma dreams, PTSD dreams. Your energy with these full moons is really about letting go of the past and how it's affecting the present, letting go of self-sabotaging behaviours, which I must say you may feel from the full moon in Capricorn onwards are sort of flaring up, and you're thinking, hey, do you know what? I'm kind of getting in my own way here. And it's drawing attention to that for you, and you're going to be able to let it go, to heal it, to move forward. Saturn and Jupiter have both been hosting your 12th house this year, meaning that you've already been doing a lot of inner work. And as a Pisces rising myself, I have to say, I do think that 12th house transits are really quite hard. Like, it just feels that when you feel like you've dealt with something internally, something else can pop up. It's kind of like whack-a-mole with the things that are going on with the 12th house transit, but it is designed to purge you, I suppose, of a lot of past experiences, past events that are holding you back in some capacity, Pisces, or are making you a self-saboteur in your own life and your own destiny. The hidden enemy in the 12th house is usually you. So that is something that's coming up for you. Also in terms of love and romance, beautiful month in general, because we have the 5th house with the Sun there, Mercury there, trining your ruling planet Neptune, bringing a lot of flow with your love life, a lot of momentum, a lot of possibilities for new love with that new moon as well in Cancer. If you are looking for love, please set that intention around the new moon, or if you're looking to evolve within a relationship, or get pregnant or something like this with the 5th house, or even just start a creative project, have a creative baby, you know, create a song, create something about yourself that makes you feel creative and joyful and playful. Because we have that beautiful true love energy, and then we have Venus and Mars moving into your relationship sector, which is going to be conducive to commitment and to merging with a partner, really feeling very at home in a relationship with Venus there, or attracting a long-term relationship. For some of you that could be with an earth sign, or just generally someone who's really quite solid. We have the King of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and the 8 of Wands. So in terms of communication, Pisces, everything takes off for you. Everything feels more conducive to good quality communication. You're getting more messages. A lot of people are probably writing to you, a lot of emails. This can be to do with the blockages sort of lifting with Uranus being in your 3rd house, moving ever so slightly from the Saturn-Uranus square. Blockages are lifted in communication. Messages are coming through. It's almost like you've had a full mailbox, and now things are starting to come through. Tabs, too many tabs were open, and now you're starting to close them. You can make way for more space. Remove some overdue storage. This month is a big theme for you, to allow new energies to usher in. But in terms of work, there seems to be a lot of stuff getting off the ground for you in terms of your work life, in terms of your routine, in terms of your health as well. A beautiful month to create a new health or fitness routine for yourself. With Mars and Venus connecting, you could really make amazing headway in terms of a diet or exercise regime that makes you feel really good about yourself and really empowered, Pisces. Look out as well for some interesting conversations about the future, in terms of career, in terms of work, and also maybe in terms of partnership, because the King of Wands really is someone who's very King of Wands. King of Pentacles is someone who's really very committed, and there could be conversations about the future of a relationship. for you that are really quite exciting. So that is what I have for you, Pisces. I hope you have a beautiful month, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.